Everyone. Sandy Grove, registered nurse, here again with Health Tracks at Home. I hope that you're doing well this week. It has been an amazing week. Who would have thought 6 months ago when we talked about changing our habits, stimulating our minds, stimulating our bodies, eating the right nutrition to decrease the anxiety that we were dealing with our stay-at-home orders, that we would be in the 8th month of this. So today, here we go again. I think we need to address some of the concerns, the chronic things that the professionals are telling us we're all having, and in one way or the other, we are. So this week, in addition to stress of our extended elections, we have also been informed that San Diego County has moved into the purple tier for 1 week, and if we do not move out of that by next week, we will be back on greater restrictive issues. So that again adds us some more cause to be concerned. So today we're going to review some ideas on how to keep a healthy mind, body, and spirit, including delving into some new ways and things that may help us with nutrition and exercise. And I'm planning to talk about that for the next few weeks. We're all getting a little tired of all this. Remember 6 months ago, we discussed developing a plan and including mental and physical exercises along with good sleep and habits and nutrition. And how are you doing? So just as a reminder, again, today, I always obtain my information from reliable sources. And as you know, things can change from day to day, from hour to hour. So if you have any questions, please talk to your healthcare provider about it, and they'll give you clarification. So dealing with pandemic burnout or fatigue is a real concern. Everybody is getting safety fatigue. This is just human nature, that we start getting sloppy with the things that we do because, let's face it, we want to be with our friends. We want to be with our grandchildren. We want to be with our children. We want to hang out. So we are all in the throes of safety fatigue at the same time with our COVID numbers are going up. So I'm going to do some just quick reminders of things that they're telling us to remember. So years ago, we didn't even think about secondhand smoke or putting children in car seats or wearing a seatbelt. But with time, we have implemented safety practices for the good of ourselves and others. It's just second nature. You don't get in a car without thinking about putting on your seatbelt. So these are good habits that they've now become law. We don't have a choice. And we are all flexible and have adopted to these precautions with time. So the key is repeating the new step until it becomes habit. At first, it may seem like a chore, even though you know it's the right thing to do. And we've all kind of felt that for the last 8 months. So when it comes to COVID-19 protection, you just commit to it. And then over time, you'll find you're putting on your mask or washing your hands without even thinking about it. And that is the habit we want to, I see my cat in the background, that is the habit that we want to make sure we perfect. So good practices help us thrive with routine and structure and protect others during these uncertain times. So what do? How to deal with coronavirus burnout and pandemic fatigue from Johns Hopkins Medicine. So it is www.hopkinsmedicine.org. So they recommend that you accept a new reality and stay committed to your good habits. And wow, we really do have to accept a new reality. So 1, make a commitment that you're going to do this. You're going to do what the authorities are telling you to do. 2, stay flexible as the recommendations change. As we find out more about the virus, things change. We know we're in seasonal flu now, so we've got a double whammy. So we want to make sure that we are flexible, and that will help our mental attitude just to know when change comes, like this election, when change comes, be flexible with it, and God will give us the grace and the strength to go through it. 3, practice precautions until they're second nature. Wash those hands, put that mask on. 4, keep necessary supplies handy in case for some reason as the flu season gets farther along and we start running out of hand sanitizer and wipes, etc. Stay ahead of the game. That will decrease your anxiety. Get some on board now when it's readily available and have it for when times get uncertain coming up here. 5, use stories to understand the risk and the consequences. Be informed. Understand what COVID really means. And if you are at risk for it. And be aware of what it means to your young people and our students, et cetera, as well. 6, give kids some choices. They're having a really hard time with all of this because they're missing their friends. So give them choices like what scent of hand sanitizer they use, what their mask looks like, etc. Also, involve the children in keeping the family consistent. Parents, you can give permission to the kids to remind other family members to maintain physical distance, wear a mask, and keep their hands clean. Keep them in the middle of everything, and they'll love it. So another article that I wanted to talk about today was coping with COVID-19 related disappointments from Sharp Healthcare at www.sharp.com/health news. So how can we cope with our disappointments over COVID? Related cancellations of events such as graduation, trips, weddings, funerals, lots of things. We've had problems here. So 1, recognize and begin to identify these cancellations as a loss. They are events for which we prepared and about which we have dreamed. So it is a sense of loss that comes with it. These events are rites of passage. We have admired photos of family members and friends' birthday celebrations and trips and weddings for years. And knowing that we aren't able to share our own memories is devastating. Our kids are really suffering with this. So for students not being able to share experiences such as proms and graduations with friends that they have spent their high school lives with is heartbreaking. These disappointments are minor in comparison to the health issues and the illnesses and homelessness and food insecurity or job loss, yet they are very important to those that have to deal with them. Those disappointments create feelings of hurt and disappointment and sadness and worry and anger. If these feelings are minimized or pushed away, the more they weigh us down. Over time, unresolved feelings will impact how we cope with our other stressors and how we feel about ourselves and how we interact in our relationships, how we cope with the guilt we have over feeling disappointed about things like canceled parties and events are also going to settle us in the wrong place. I spoke with my granddaughter for 2 hours this weekend, celebrating her birthday, and most of it was about her disappointments and missing her friends. She's 20, and how she's had to delay moving out on her own because of all the uncertainty. And it really opened my eyes. That's why we're talking about this today. So, what can we do to cope with our feelings of disappointment? I realized when I was thinking about this, I'm even disappointed I can't just run out to the supermarket to pick up one thing. I wouldn't do that now. So, there are things that were normal that are not normal anymore. So, notice if you're having negative self talk, you're talking to yourself in a way that is critical or, that's never going to happen, or we're stuck like this forever. Start using the positive talking. It really does help. Journaling COVID things is a really good idea. We're going to look back and go, wow, a lot of things changed, but what really did happen in the midst of that? So journaling some of these things and these disappointments is a good idea. Seek support if you're really having problems, if you're really feeling hurt and sad and having problems sleeping. Maintain that daily routine. We talked about that 6 months ago. Start setting a calendar, putting things on it so that you are getting up and going. I heard of some friends that decided to be the Get Up and Go Club. And so at least 3 days a week, they got up at a certain time, they got dressed, they put their makeup on, they got their purses ready, they got ready to go out of the house, and they went out and they did errands just to get back in the routine of being active in their daily lives. I thought that was a great idea. So maintain a daily routine. Practice radical acceptance. This is the psychologists really encourage this. Radical acceptance is accepting those things we cannot change. And once we accept those things we cannot change, we can deal with the things that we can change that are right in front of us. So think about those things that you're really having trouble with and try to let them go. Give them to the Lord. So what can we do to get out of our present disappointment mindset and look forward to what is to come? Write a gratitude list. We talked about this 6 months ago, and it's a really good idea. My husband and I have started to write down those things that were first that we've done during COVID, and that's kind of a fun list to have and to look back on. Two, create a list of activities and events that can be rescheduled. Just because you haven't been able to celebrate graduations or birthdays, that doesn't mean you won't be able to make up for lost time after COVID. Plan those trips like we talked about before for next summer or next fall. This will be over and we will be able to do those things we used to do. Consider ways you can celebrate using technology. We know we've gotten a lot of information about this, especially over Halloween. They said to do a lot of things with Zoom or technology or FaceTiming or social media, just to make sure you stay in contact and people can see each other's faces. That's really important. So how can we help our loved ones who are dealing with disappointments brought on by COVID-19 pandemic and related precautions? This is my grandchildren. Validate their experience. It's so important not to ignore or to belittle or to make them think their problems are meaningless. Let them be heard. Offer ways to distract them. What will make them happy? What is going to bring joy into their lives? Pay attention. If you notice a loved one's mood is gradually changing or declining, where they cannot do activities that they would daily do, encourage them to seek professional help. And we have so many people that are depressed, feeling isolated, feeling lonely. It's very difficult in this time, and we want to make sure that we're there for them. As a reminder, remember those things like mental exercises, trying new things, doing puzzles, learning a new language, singing new songs. Decrease your news exposure, especially this week. Set a schedule for those important things. Change your schedule for the things you've been doing. Maybe exercise at a different time of day, eat at a different time of day. Used forced recall. Remember when you walk into another room and you've forgotten what you went into that room for, tell your brain, you need to remember this and stand there until you remember. Practice positive memory preservation. Find something that you've never done before during COVID, like I said, and make a note and rejoice in it. Restore something you have done in the past, such as play an instrument or singing with a group on Zoom. I'm doing that right now. I'm doing the Messiah. This is definitely a challenge, but it is different and there's lots of new faces and it's a new focus. Try new things with increased variety, novelty, with increased level of engagement and challenge. You want to be challenged. Those crossword puzzles should come out now. That's a good idea for us to make our brain do something that is different, because it seems like every day kind of fits together. And make sure that it brings you a degree of enjoyment. I've been doing puzzles and they don't necessarily bring me enjoyment, so I do them on my computer and that's better. Change the time of day, like I said, that you're doing some of those routine things such as exercising and shopping. In this world of the new normal, we have the opportunity to learn new things and we will look back with some positive memories. But in the midst of this, give yourself time to understand what you are feeling and address those feelings. Talk to somebody about it. Encourage others if they are discouraged and listen. It's really a good time to listen. Call a friend. I hope this helps you with the renewed sense of purpose and the knowledge that you're not alone. We are all in this together. And like I said, I obtain my information from reliable sources. And as you know, things can change from day to day, so check with your MD if you have any questions. Over the next few weeks, we're going to discuss some suggestions from the experts related to exercise, nutrition, and mindfulness and brain health. God bless you until we're together again. Take care. Bye-bye.